Right, well, welcome guys, welcome back. You can see now the boat's all sanded down as we saw last time, and now it's ready for some paint. It's a glorious day, 9 o'clock in the morning. There's already quite a bit of heat in the air. So what we're going to do is we're going to get some paint on this, and what I've got here for the very first bit, we can see that there are some bare areas in here. So starting off, this is what I've got: Ronseal super flexible primer and undercoat, exterior wood. Okay, now why have I chosen that? Well, we're going to use, what we're trying to do here is keep the cost down as much as possible. If this boat was going to go into the water full time, then I'd be looking for some marine paint, but it's not going in the water full time. It's going in the water periodically and then coming out in between, and anything with marine written in it is double or even treble the price of everything else you're going to buy. If you look on the internet, there's plenty of evidence there that Dulux Weather Shield, Sandtex masonry paint, that type stuff, fairly similar formula to marine paint. I know there's a big debate about it, but it's half the price. And this is a tin of primer and undercoat I had left over from the stuff I put on in autumn. Remember I said I put some on this when I broke my collarbone just to protect it over winter, which it did fairly well. So I'm using the rest of this tin up on the paint here, and I'll show you the gloss paint I've got afterwards, because I got a bargain on that. As I said to you over the weekend, with it being Bank Holiday weekend, B&Q of course have their special offers on, Homebase have theirs, they're all Wickes, everybody has the same special offers, and I managed to get a 7.5 litre tub of exterior pure brilliant white gloss Sandtex for 15 quid from B&Q's. So that's what will be going on this ultimately. So I've already been on the outside of the hull. There's there's the odd blemish, the odd mark, and with the brush and the paint I've just touched up the odd bare patch, because it's already white there and I've already roughed it up ready just to take the gloss paint straight away. So let's have a bit of a close-up look how we're doing this. I've got a stiff brush here. It's a Harris brush. The reason I've got a stiff brush is because the stiff brush will get into some of these grooves, and I'm just putting a bit of paint on the brush there. I know you shouldn't, and I'll just go along it now, I know you shouldn't paint directly out of a tin. I've been over this with a stiff brush this morning and brushed all the bits, any bits of debris off. I know we're painting it outside, so we might get a few bits in it, and the reason I'm using a stiff brush, I'm going with the grain. You can see there, going with the grain. I'm using a stiff brush because the stiff brush will get inside the grain, and you can see the coverage isn't too bad. Let's go back into there in certain areas just to get it right down inside the grain where it hasn't gone in. It's a fairly swift job. The other good thing about doing an undercoat like this and primer at the same time is it dries fairly quickly, so you know there's a good chance you might be able to get some gloss on this today. The other thing with it is that it also allows us to show any marks. So let's say there's a, you know, these holes are acceptable here because they're for the roof bars, but let's say there was a great big hole, a piece lifted up or something like there is on the side. Once you actually get some paint on like this, it allows you to see where their marks are and where their blemishes are, and you know, you can repair them, fix them, fill them, whatever you want to do, because it just highlights them a little bit more when it's all one colour like that. You can see there, I've already been up this one side here, and I stopped 10 minutes ago, took the breakfast, and that's already dry, that is. So I'm going to continue down here, across the top, into the cockpit area here, and then I'm going to move inside. Have I got enough paint left? I'm not sure. I'm going to do the outside first on top here, which is most critical, and then round the outsides of the cockpit housing here, and then when I move inside, if I have run short of paint, then I might just use some normal interior exterior Dulux gloss primer or something like that. Not Dulux gloss, but Dulux excuse me, interior exterior primer inside where it's a bit less critical, but I'm using the decent stuff outside here. So I'll carry on painting this, and when it's done I'll show you what it looks like before I put the top coat on. Right, join me next time then.